I know it couldn't just be me today, but today the market changed directions more than my girlfriend changes outfits right before we go out. That's my little dad joke for the day. Please don't laugh at me. All right, so check this out. This is ticker symbol TQQQ. It's an overall NASDAQ ETF, and it went green, and then it went red, and then it went green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red, and I sent out an announcement to my Learn Plan Profit members, and I'm so glad that I did. I even talked a little bit about it on my Instagram. I set two main alerts. The break above an obvious pre-market resistance, which was right around $25.30. If you joined our live session today, you would know what I'm talking about. As well as we established somewhat of a support level right around $24. So guess what? I set an alert there. When the market trades sideways, it doesn't make sense, in my opinion, especially if the margin isn't there, right? I mean, if you're a perfect trader and it sells off and then it recovers, I mean, you have 4% to work with. But let's be honest. First off, I'm not a perfect trader. Second, my overall entries and exits aren't always going to be ideal. And with that being said, if I'm waiting for confirmation and then selling early, that's less than a 2% margin. In that case, it's not really worth it to day trade. And this is what you need to understand. It's like days like this are a perfect example of when staying cash and or just setting alerts and going on with your day is sometimes more effective instead of sitting in front of a screen watching paint dry, right? Because at that point, you're just wasting time. So I'm very happy that I sent out that alert and setting alerts at $24 and around $25.30. But I did buy more TQQQ. Let me explain to you why I decided to hold this. So we had the ECB conference today. I actually live streamed it. So if you want to check that out, it's literally the video that I uploaded right before this. One of the things that we talked about was the VIX. The VIX index is considered the fear index. And one of the main reasons I decided to add more to my position is I still saw the VIX struggle to make higher highs. And one of the things that I've noticed is if you look at this, it's harder to see on the day chart, but if you look at this on the 1 hour time frame, anytime that the VIX rises, the NASDAQ market falls. And anytime that the VIX falls, the NASDAQ rises. So I took a position on TQQQ because I began to see signs of lower highs for the VIX. One of the things that I do have to point out is that when the VIX does begin to rise, very often it just shoots up. It shoots up. It shoots up, right? It shoots up. It doesn't rise gradually. It's normally something is announced that causes the VIX to rise. Fear gets instilled into the market, and then markets begin to drop. Also, the same thing with dramatic drops, right? When we're at this resistance level, dramatic drops. This one was more of a consistent drop. This one was more of a dramatic drop. This one was more of a consistent drop. That's what we experienced for the past 2 weeks, right? That consistent drop on the VIX, consistent 2 weeks for the green weeks. Like last week, we had the best week for the NASDAQ since March of 2020. Obviously, again, the VIX came back to its support level. But one of the things that I saw today is instead of the VIX beginning to indicate signs of an uptrend, meaning that the market should be falling, it actually did the opposite. It tried to retest that same level and then dropped once again. So I'm just going to follow up with this. I wanted to make sure that before I uploaded this video that the market closed. So it gives you time to think about what I'm saying. I don't want any of you guys to make impulsive decisions. I don't want you to copy what it is that I'm doing. Just because I'm okay with taking a risk doesn't mean that you can tolerate that same risk. I'm never right 100% of the time, so please make sure that you don't put yourself in a position in which you cannot tolerate. I just like explaining why I do what I do. So the VIX began to show signs of a resistance level. It didn't have much momentum. There's not really much going on when it comes down to Fed meetings or anything like that for the rest of the week, right? So we had our conference today. As of Thursday, we don't really have anything there. And then we're going into Friday, which is going to be July 1st. Other than that, the thing that I'm really going to be looking forward to is going to be the Fed minutes. And again, that's not until next month. So something that we'll have to follow up with. We do have on July 4th, right, Independence Day. So please make sure that you are aware that the market is set to be closed on Monday of next week. So it's only going to be a 4-day trading week. But again, it's exciting, right? Because it means that for the 4 days that we do have available, it is our job to even be more effective with the time that we spend in front of the screen, but also in the trades and the opportunities we choose to take advantage of. So I'm very excited to follow up. I still personally, again, this is my personal opinion, I still think that right now is the best time to prepare for the market to recover. Do I think that the market's going to recover right away? Of course not. But I think one of the worst things that anyone can do, especially if you're just getting started, is to take all this time to try to learn about the stock market, but not actually build a small watch list, set effective alerts, and create an effective investment plan or trade plan for the 1, 2, or 3 stocks you want to buy and hold. There is no question that there is so much opportunity in the market right now. Yes, the cheap can always get cheaper, but your job is not to be perfect. Your job is simply to prepare. And that's exactly what I want to encourage you to do. It doesn't mean that you have to buy anything right now, but what do these stocks need to do for it to earn your investment? I think that's a great level-headed approach to have right now with current market conditions. I'm super excited to follow up. I think we've all been able to see how inflation has influenced the overall market. It's kind of a domino effect, right? Because the stock market gets factored in right away when inflation numbers are high. But some other markets, such as the car market or the real estate market or transportation services, it takes time for it to trickle down to those other markets, right? And this is what you need to understand, that there is no guarantee that the market's going to recover right away. But one thing that I know based off of history is that it's not if the market's going to recover, it's when. So my rhetorical question that I want to leave you with is, will you be able to tolerate the time that it takes for the market to recover? And only you can answer that. How do you tolerate time? You don't put yourself in a stressful situation. So if you're heavily invested right now, that's high stress, right? Put yourself in a position that even at its worst case scenario, you can tolerate. I think that we can all agree that, we're all waiting for the market to recover. I just want to make sure that you put yourself in a position now that you'll actually make it and see the light at the end of the tunnel. I really do appreciate you guys' time. I'm excited to see you guys in tomorrow's live trading session. I trade live every single morning exclusively with my Learn Plan Profit group. They get to see where I buy, where I sell, if I cut losses, my entire thought process while I trade. I do this every single day at market open. And if you want to join me as soon as tomorrow, I encourage you, click the second link down below. Learn a little bit more about my Learn Plan Profit group. And as of right now, I am offering a $100 off discount code. And again, that's that second link in the description of this video. I hope that I earned your thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. If you have any questions, feel free to message me via Discord. And that's that first link in the description. And I'd be more than happy to assist you. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.